Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shasheena Rolle. As always, it's so great to have you with us. Topping news, the Grand Bahama Power Company facing harsh criticism tonight from another union representing workers at the power company. During a press conference called by the Bahamas Industrial Engineers Managerial and Supervisory Union today, executives outlined several outstanding issues and is calling on the government to assist them in their fight for justice. The Grand Bahama Power Company is in the line of fire once again. This time, members of the Bahamas Industrial Engineers Managerial and Supervisory Union say they are tired of management's unfair treatment and their failure to negotiate in good faith. President of BIMSU, Pedro Edwards, says the union has reached its breaking point.
They're trying to cut people's salaries, and I understand from the other union there's some information coming around that they want to put some barcode on the IDs and all that sort of thing. And they've also gone ahead now and said, since I've been to this company, people work from 8 to 4:30. Okay? Only in the office of administration you may find that people work till 5 o'clock. They're now telling the employees that age-old practice must stop because that was a gift. I mean, come on, man. And you got employees, right? Executives, Bahamians, who don't even know the history, are the ones who are trying to force all of these actions on their fellow men.
He also charges that management of the power company has no respect for the law.
We just had a referendum day voting, for instance, and the company saw it fit to cut people for the 2 hours that they are due by law to go and vote on referendum day.
And that's not the only charge levied by the union.
We have a company that terminating workers, don't want to solve and settle the matter. We got court cases that are backlogged. We got the same time, we got the government with work permits given to the same employer to bring in their people. That is not right, okay? We got too many redundancies that occur, as you know, like last year. We got an employer right now is taking the employees and pushing them and badgering them to take a half a year and perhaps even a year off from work for vacation that they earned. They should be paid for that.
Edwards says there are many outstanding issues that must be resolved, including the electrocution of a former colleague.
For instance, Mr. Adley, who got electrocuted last year. We haven't had a proper independent investigation on that matter, and people still have to work in the same environment. What we're saying is the company can't be the judge and the jury for itself. And we've petitioned the government on that, to have the ILO come in here and deal with that kind of stuff. But what we're saying, like I say, is an employee who's hell-bent to just do it their way. So if they're not going to follow the agreement, we can't have a process.
During the middle of the press conference, the union members as well as the press were escorted off the power company's property. Now the union is calling on the government and all relevant authorities to assist them in their fight for justice.
You have Sir Albert Miller, who's still a part of the equation. You still have Mr. Robert Adams, who is the lawyer for this employer. And what we're saying to Mr. Adams is stop the, political and the legal pandering, man, and the maneuvering, and stop delaying. We got guys who have to feed their families, and it is not right for them to be home while Canadians are working all through this company. What we're saying is we need him to do the honorable thing and solve the problem. Sit with the unions and solve the problem. We're saying to the Prime Minister, Sir Albert, and him, they are the three key people we believe who can get the education in it, okay, to get it resolved.
Now, the Grand Bahama Power Company issued a statement a few minutes ago noting that the company only has 5 expats working full-time and that number will decline over time. Management also reiterates that all employees of the power company are paid for vacation time. In other news, the Bahamas Union of Teachers is commending the Ministry of Education for resolving the mold issue at the Lewis Yard Primary School. The union shop steward says they are satisfied that the campus is now an environment that's conducive to learning. Shakara Trott has more.
Parents have complained some students have fallen ill and one teacher was sent home on sick leave for more than a month, all as a result of the mold situation at the Lewis Yard Primary School. Bahamas Union of Teachers shop steward Michelle Alton says the problem has now been resolved and it is business as usual at the school.
We have had one teacher out. She's been out for the past almost 5 weeks, and she hasn't returned to work yet. And that's as a result of some testing that would have been conducted because the ministry sent all of the teachers over to the Hawksville Clinic to be tested and evaluated, and she was given a lot of time off.
She says the union is satisfied that the mold situation has been addressed effectively.
There has been an air quality control test, to my understanding, and that test came back clear. And since the air quality control testing, they went through a massive process of bleaching and sanitizing all surfaces and areas, a massive cleanup campaign led by Mr. McDonald. They did an excellent job.
The Lewis Yard School was relocated to the former St. Vincent de Paul campus in September. The union shop steward says they have since discovered that lack of ventilation was an issue of concern at the campus.
There were no vents, which caused the hot air to stay trapped inside, which would cause mold to grow. So now that there is proper airflow, that should alleviate any problems and health concerns.
Outen commends the contractor for a thorough job at the campus, and sanitation is a top priority.
They stripped everything down. They took down our dry erase boards. They bleached and sanitized everything behind the boards. The walls were repainted and primed and bleached down all the surfaces in the classroom. They said one of the major issues was the fact that things weren't being cleaned properly. So they have met with the janitorial staff and organized distinct, decisive, precise measures, steps to be taken in order to ensure that everything is clean, to keep whatever underlying issues at bay.
Now that new stringent measures are in place, the shop steward says everything appears to be in order. Shakara Trott, ZNS Network News.
Well, tonight we have a report that a swarm of bees was spotted in the area of Falls College Park. The bees attacked several motorists and pedestrians, sending a few to hospital. Tonight, the authorities are advising the public to avoid that general area until the situation has been brought under control. Now, that's a swarm of bees on the attack in the area of St. Paul's College Park, so stay away from that area. Stay away from that area, but stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues right after this.